Welcome to Ghosted by the Machine, the show where we cut through the noise, the algorithms, and the black box workflows to talk about what really matters in hiring: people, respect, and follow through. Today's guest is someone who understands the job market from both sides. I'm talking with Chris Fairley, CEO and founder of Vetano, a video-first hiring platform that helps companies see real skills before the interview. Instead of resumes, cover letters, and endless screening calls, Vetano uses short, verified skill videos to surface talent faster and make hiring more human. 5 questions, 5 minutes, no bots, just real talk. Let's get into it. Welcome to the show, Chris.
Hey, thanks for having me, Mark. Appreciate it.
Well, I'm really excited about this. What inspired you to build Vetano in the first place?
Well, I realized that the hiring system was basically broken. I had been laid off. I got caught up in the tech layoffs, and I was laid off for a year. And after my last interview was a 30-day interview round, five different interviews. I was getting perfect feedback all the way through. And then the last email I get was that we're moving on to other candidates because you don't have the experience that we need. And I'd been told that I had the experience all along, which is really devastating because I really expected to get that job. I was getting all the right signals for it. They were rushing me. And I just realized, okay, I got to do something different. I don't know exactly why they're moving on with different candidates, but I got to do something differently. So I said, I'm going to create a video of myself explaining my skills, do a presentation, do a demo, and answer the basic interview questions. I'll answer all that in the video, send that with my resume so that would give me a better chance at getting a job. And if someone wanted to either discriminate or something like that, they can do it on the video and not waste my time.
Right.
And so that's the solution I thought that I was going to do for myself. But then I thought, you know what, maybe I should just do my own hiring platform. Maybe I should build my own. So since no one else was really doing it.
Wow. Well, you're into IT, so this was a perfect match for you.
Yes, exactly.
So there are a lot of hiring platforms out there. What would you say is unique edge that Vetano offers?
Our unique edge is that we're not based on resumes. Just about every hiring platform, you start with your resume. It's all about your resume. But resumes are basically flawed because they're all text, they're easy to fake, there's AI that can create your own resume for you, they get filtered by algorithms. And so we basically flip that model where we use verified skill videos and government ID checks so that employers see the real person and their ability before they even meet them for the first time.
Okay. So on your site, you talk about video proven skills and how reducing mismatches. Walk us through how a typical employer and candidate experience looks on Vetano, from first contact to a successful match.
Yeah, for one thing, we have the video proof on both sides. So the employer also has to create a profile. They create a video about, in themselves, their values, their company. They can kind of do an intro or a tour of the restaurant, their business, to give the candidate a warm and fuzzy about where they're going to be working at. And so the candidate also creates their video profile with their top 10, media images on their side. And so the candidate will, either apply to a job that was posted by the employer, or they'll send a link to someone and to an employer. The employer would download the app, and they'll have to ID verify themselves to get access to that person's data. If they like what they see, they'll send a connection request to the employer and tell them why they want to connect. The employer gets that request, and they can decide whether they want to connect with the employer. And if they connect, then the employer is able to see their full contact information. They can chat with each other right there on the app. And we're about to add, or in the future, we're going to add instant video, where if you see someone you like, you can instantly interview them right there on the spot. So we're trying to cut down this process that takes months into hours and days.
Sounds like a dating app.
Yeah, some call it that, the dating app for job seekers.
That's amazing. So I'm sure you faced resistance or pushback from traditional hiring practices. What's one of the biggest lessons you've learned about transforming the hiring culture, and how did you overcome it?
Yeah, what's really determining right now is that the biggest issue is that on both sides, we feel that both employers and candidates are comfortable with the pain. In a sense, we expect to be ghosted. Employers expect to get hundreds of resumes that they have to filter through. So it's a problem that everyone is used to having. So kind of breaking through that and kind of like waking people up and say, oh no, this is a better way of doing it. And at first it's like pushback, like, oh, I don't want to create a video. I don't want to do this. I just want to use my resume. And it's like, well, no, resumes are broken. This is the problem that you're in. But once people actually go through and create their profile, 15 minutes or so, create their profile, it's like, okay, this is like very easy. And then when the employer sees it, it's like, oh man, wow, okay, it's almost like this, you're waking people up. So that's the process of what we're doing right now. So really waking people up.
So what jobs are some of these applicants looking for? What's, is it, you talked about barbers when I first talked to you about
Yeah.
this program, but what are some of the job classifications or careers that you're trying to get into?
Yeah, basically we're trying to control it. We try to start with hair care and then go to we're in the restaurant industry now. But now we're getting contacts from automotive, construction, electricians, plumbing, welders. So anything that really requires skill, art, musicians, it's really for all jobs, all trades, even for, non-technical skills like sales, being able to give your ability, to do like a sales demonstration right there on the spot in the app.
So looking ahead, what are your next major milestones for Vetano, and how do you envision the landscape evolving in the next 3 to 5 years?
So our next step for Vetano is transforming from a hiring platform to a hiring marketplace. Right now, it's really two types of profiles, a employer and a candidate profile. But we're about to add consumer to that as well. And what we just launched too is gig work. So right now, talents can actually post gigs that they want others to do for themselves, businesses or other talents. And as long as businesses, they can also post gigs. And we're going to allow consumers to also post gigs. And so really all of this gig work that's being done, and many companies are charging like 30% or more fee on top of whatever work you do. For one fee of $79, you can do as much gig work as you want, and we don't take a cut from that. We feel that's going to be a relief for people that are out of work, trying to get jobs, and really just transform everything regarding hiring.
Thanks to Chris Fairley for joining us today, someone who proves that fixing hiring isn't just about technology or workflow. It's about people, culture, accountability, and actually paying attention to what's not said. Ghosting shouldn't be normal. Broken communication shouldn't be expected. And Chris, through Vetano, is building tools that help companies move faster without leaving people behind. If you took something from this conversation, share it with someone who's out there in the job hunt right now, because nobody should have to navigate this process alone. Make sure to follow and subscribe to all our social channels for new episodes, shorts, and conversations every week. And if you want to be on the podcast, DM me or comment on LinkedIn or any of our social channels. We're always looking for those real voices in the ghost town of job search silence. We're building a movement here, one honest conversation at a time. This is Ghosted by the Machine. Let's make hiring human again. Thanks again, Chris, for joining us.
Thank you, Mark.